Stephen Leto for that story. We're now joined live by Johnson Mwakazi. How are you?
Right, good to see you, Nadhifa.
Good to see you too, Mwakazi.
Right, absolutely.
Tell us something. What's with the new look of the I.E.B.C?
Well, it's amazing because a lot of people, look at the Electoral Commission with perhaps the 2007 mentality.
Yeah.
But I.E.B.C, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, says, you know what, we are a totally different team.
Yeah.
And that is why the relaunch, the new look is very important. Your vote, your future. That's actually the tagline.
Yeah.
Just to tell people, you know what, forget about the voter buying that we had, the rigging that we had, the claims and all that. This time it is you and your vote. And we want to make sure that your vote will count.
Yeah.
And I.E.B.C says, you know what, it's not just about us as the commission making that happen. We're also inviting you to take part in that process of making sure that we have credible elections come 2030.
To avoid the repeat of the 2001 election violence.
Nobody wants to go back there.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw thousands of houses destroyed, property, people's lives and all that. People were displaced. This is a new Kenya. Think about it. It's a new constitution. It's a new future.
Yeah.
But this time around we're saying it will take you and I, not just a commission or the police or the government, but every person in this country has a role to play to make sure that this country goes to the next level of excellence.
Yeah, and what's going on the ground so far as the March 2013 elections are concerned?
Right now a lot is happening. A lot is happening.
Yeah.
Thanks to the High Court ruling in relation to the delimitation of constituency boundaries.
Yeah.
That was a remarkable step in the right direction. Of course, civic education has also started because you realize this is a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
We have 6 elective posts. I mean, we're used to the 3 elective posts back in 2007. This time around, it's 6. So it's not just a matter of, hey, tomorrow it's election date, let's go to the polls and elect. No. It's about, hey, you've got to understand the 6 elective posts. You've got to understand the whole process of doing it.
Yeah.
So that at the end of it all, we don't have destroyed votes, whereby people voted because they didn't really understand the whole process, but because they understood, they made their decision based on information that they had. So civic education has taken place. And it's not so much in the media. Of course, we have Citizen Television, KTN, KBC, NTV, airing all these packages as far as I.E.B.C is concerned. But we also have civic education taking place in the grassroots, which is also very important. And
why the derailment in the voter registration process?
Well, any time you're looking at a totally different process, you've got to sort of expect all these, negativities coming in.
Yeah.
Any change that has ever been there will always be, all sorts of concerns coming up. The only thing that is sort of coming in, but I wouldn't say derailing the process, is basically the tender in regards to the biometric registration voter kit. You see, this will actually be a step forward in terms of I.E.B.C embracing ICT.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the elections will be done manually, but the registration is very critical, and that is why I.E.B.C says, you know what, this time around we want to do it differently. Well, the tender process was rolled out, the procurement process was rolled out. There was, of course, bidders that came in, and 3 were shortlisted: an Indian firm, a Kenyan firm, and of course a South African firm. The first firm, which offered a very, lucrative deal, later on there were revelations that actually they had a bit of controversies.
The Symphony?
The 4G.
Yeah, the 4G.
The Indian firm. Had a bit of controversy there. So that also had to sort of delay the whole process, because you see, you want to get a bidder who is very clear in their dealing. Because at the end of it all, Kenyans are looking at it. They're saying, okay, you are saying this is going to be a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that every person who offers services to you is also credible. You cannot say, you know what, I'm credible, but then you're getting all these people that are incredible.
Yeah.
So that is why the 4G, the company had to be looked at, and later on they realized all these flaws and all that. So that also delayed. So they moved on to the third one, and people went like, hey, by the way, if you have 3 people and the first one is cheaper, second one cheaper, why do you go to the third one who is offering an expensive deal? Why don't you go to the second one?
Yeah,
so they had
cheaper.
to also reverse that, go back to the second one. The second one also, they need to make sure that the whole process is credible. And that is why it's taking time. But I.E.B.C has made sure that nothing will delay the election process. And that is something very key for all of us to understand. Nothing will derail the program. There's actually a backup plan.
Yeah.
If this one does not work out, there's a backup plan.
Thank you very much. We're running out of time. I'm sorry we have to cut it short.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, thank you.